Hey everyone, it is 11 o'clock. We do this each Thursday at 11. What is it, the first or second? I think it's the second
Second
Thursday.
Thursday.
Second Thursday every Thursday. We come on. We really,
Second Thursday every month is what he means.
yeah, second Thursday. Our jams are second and fourth Tuesdays every month at 11. But the intent here is to really give you some insight on how to expand your projects in 2026 without increasing headaches, time, energy, expense, all of those things. And maybe you can glean some of the strategies and what we've learned over the past 30 years and apply them to yourself. Obviously, we'd love you guys to be a part of the elite cities. And in economic development, I always say lack of interest is lack of education. Someone just doesn't know enough about your area to put you on a short list. And that's what we find with GSLI. A lot of people, we've been around 30 years. They say we get your emails, we get your information. They don't know about our portal. They don't know how to instantly put leads into their pipeline and put their community in front of projects. So hopefully we can share that with you guys today. What to expect? I'm going to give you a little bit of a story about how we were started. We're going to go over some common EDO challenges and what we've seen over the years. I'm going to role play. I'm going to play it as if I'm your board and challenge you guys to think about some things. And then we're going to come back and say, here's GSLI solutions, how we use our pillars to generate leads, and come up with an effective, cost-effective way to leverage your own community's dollars without adding time and energy to your plate. And then we've got a special offer, and I'm telling you, and I told my team we had a huddle this morning. We talked about it. I go crazy every Valentine's Day. It's one of the best times of year. It reminds me how much I love this job. I formed it 31 years ago, and I did have a 5-year exit plan, and I'm on year 31. And so on Valentine's Day, it reminds me how much we love what we do. And it's my opportunity to give you guys our best offer that you guys can take advantage of. And we'll get to that at the end. As we've kind of teased up, we have fun in these. We encourage any kind of questions, comments, anything is like that. All you have to do is put something in the chat, and Caresta over there is filling what's called our Wheel of Names. So we'll be giving away an Amazon gift card and a book. And trust me, I don't get offended if you like a gift card more than a book, but I will personally sign that and get it out to you. It's one of my latest books. I've got one more that's coming out. This one is geared towards prospects and the 30 years of site selection and the things I've seen when we do site tours with communities. It is funny, my kids tell me. And Caressa can attest. Once they told me it offered some humor, I said, I'm going to publish it. And I've got one coming out about buying back your time as economic development and how to be more effective in your jobs without adding headcount and adding costs. Let's start with our first poll, Caresta. I want to make sure everyone here is in the right place. First of all, are you interested in increasing your community's pipeline with highly qualified and active projects?
Oh, let me throw up the poll. Sorry about that. I was working on the wheel of names over here in the background.
Oh, we've got some
All
people
right.
that have read the book. I
Let's
appreciate
see.
that, guys.
Pipeline poll coming up now.
All right, go ahead and throw in your answers. Are you interested in prospects? And I will
Did you
tell you if
say
you
people
answer
have read the
no,
book?
I'm not going to boot you, but we want people that are interested in increasing their pipelines, increasing their job counts in their communities. Um, and as I suspected and am excited about, we've got 100% so far. And so I'm excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and go to question two. Um, how many of you are experiencing maybe not budget cuts or a board, but your board is demanding more results with the same or less money this year? Um, and are you seeing that a trend, or are they saying, "Hey, let's invest more and give you an opportunity"? All right, I love the no's. That means someone board is way on board with what you guys are doing and believe in your community. But we do get those challenges. A lot of people are like, hey, my board wants me to do all of these unrealistic expectations with either the same or less money. But I'll leave that one up for one more second. And great. So, how is GSLI created? I'll be honest with you, I would love to take credit, but we were formed by economic developers, some really smart ones for economic developers. So we have continued that through the years. In fact, I have an advisory board. These are some of my closest people that I interject with, and we ensure that we are developing and continuing to build GSLI from an economic development perspective because that's really what we're here to be. We are just extensions of your staff. We are your partners, and we are here to help you be better from the eyes of economic development. Rick, sadly to say, he passed away from us last year, and we voted to make him a legacy advisor. He was one of our He's been to the United Kingdom with me. He's been to many trade shows and was a phenomenal resource for us to tap into. So we dearly miss Rick, but we are going to be adding two more board members this year. So good opportunity if you like to be involved and have a say in how we grow. Would love you to put your name in our hat to be it. But the best analogy that I can give, when we formed GSLI, we were sitting at a trade show and I had a little summit meeting, and we brought 25 economic developers into a room, and we started talking about what the vision would be. How could we generate more leads at less cost, less work? Because let's face it, you guys are faced with a lot of day-to-day activities, and sometimes your boards put unrealistic expectations. Go run a social media, put together our marketing, uh, keep your pipeline full, report back to us, and not all of that can be done effectively. So your time is so split. One guy stood up in the meeting and he says, "Eric, this reminds me of my wife's fresh baked cookie jar." And I started laughing and I said, "Okay, tell me more. You got my attention." He goes, "We were out shopping the other day and we were not shopping for cookie jars, but she saw this beautiful little cookie jar sitting on the counter, and she didn't try to sell me on the cookie jar. She said, 'Hey, would you like fresh baked cookies every week?'" Of course, I said no. It was what he explained, and he chuckled because he said his wife really didn't cook. But guess what? They ended up with the cookie jar. They took it home, they set it on the counter, and sure enough, week one, she put on her apron, she got out her spices, she got her thing. He said he didn't know how eggs got on the ceiling, but it was a crazy scene. But 2 hours later, there was fresh baked cookies, and they were in the jar. And so he enjoyed the cookies. And week two came, and there was less cookies. Week three came, there were no cookies. And by week four, he went to his wife and said, "Hey, what about those fresh baked cookies?" And she's like, "I'm not going to do that. That's a ton of work. It costs us a lot in ingredients, and but isn't that cookie jar beautiful?" So the cookie jar sits there empty, and that reminds me, and he said that's exactly what we're building here. We're building a cookie jar that magically fills itself with fresh baked cookies each week. She doesn't have to cook, she doesn't have to bake. I take out a cookie, I don't like it, I throw it away. I know that there's another cookie that's going to be there. And that is the best analogy I can give you to think about is GSLI has produced a cookie jar that fills itself with projects every week. So you can use our portal on your own and put in your own projects, but know that it's going to continually fill without you doing work, without you doing energy, with you just meeting with our team and more projects filling up that cookie jar. Does it work? We absolutely work. Are by far we have the most testimonials in the industry. If you go to our GSLI solutions and go on the testimonials page, you can click, you can understand, you can see how people are leveraging and making themselves their own superheroes with their boards by implementing our GSLI program, our Elite Cities program. So I felt this would be a good time to kind of share with you two good examples of testimonials. Timothy, I call him Tim. He's been with us for 10 years. He's in California. He just attended our last trade show, but let's listen to what he has to say.
I think with all the technology that's come about, and it's great, but the reality is that deals are done based upon relationships. And so an example of that would be last night we had a VIP event, and I attended, met a gentleman, and then here at the trade show, he was working with a client who was very interested in coming to the West Coast and introduced me to him. And we are now setting up times to meet, not only here in the United States, but in the country where he's from. And that's just an example of how quick things can happen face to face. And GSLI created the opportunity for us, invited the right people, and I think we might have a winner out of it.
That always makes me happy. But Logan here, different perspective. She's young. She's very energetic. She is actually a marketing expert for their community and really evaluated how could we plug in and help them be more effective. So here's what she had to say.
Hi, my name is Logan Bruni. I'm with the City of Delaware, Ohio Economic Development Department, and we have been with GSLI as an elite city for about a year now. We joined GSLI to expand the amount of leads that we were able to get so that we could have a larger amount of projects to be able to look at and potentially bring into our area. What I like most is being able to really interact with the employees and members of GSLI, their hands-on help with anything from submitting projects and our website, and being able to come to these trade shows and have a really wonderful time has been a fantastic resource for us in getting out and doing more in a more active sense for economic development and business outreach. And I think we would absolutely recommend them. We've had a wonderful experience, and we hope to continue our partnership for many more years to come.
Those two are just great examples. I have tons of them. Feel free to go to our website and listen and see how they're taking advantage of us and how they're using us because it really it speaks volumes versus our team trying to explain and tell you how to best benefit from 10xing your projects through GSLI. But with success came growth. So over 31 years, we've really expanded. We've become a marketing one-stop shop. So Cresta just explained to me we're getting ready to go live with Georgetown, Texas's redesigned website, and we're excited about that. We have about 5 websites that we're working right now and bringing to fruition. We've got videos from South Sioux City, New Bedford, just a ton of things that are increasing their portfolio of things that they can present and begin increasing their business attraction. And the biggest thing is that cost. So I'm going to tell you our quotes on any of our services are about 50% of what they get from other producers. Because let's face it, if I'm only producing websites, I have to pay a lot of bills. So I got to charge a premium for the website. If I'm doing videos, the same thing. I've seen averages of anywhere from 10 to 25,000 on websites and videos. We can get them back to our communities for less than 10. And in some cases, if we're doing a facelift, less than 5. So our communities will use us to keep them honest and to help build their portfolios. And we really do enjoy that relationship. They don't have to go find multiple vendors to execute these types of marketing assets. We've also expanded. We've opened up a Asian Pacific office. Francis is amazing. He's been working with over 1,200 companies over the past 9.5 years and gave us instant credibility overseas. We do have a ton of companies that reach out to us. We work with the Italian Trade Commission. We've worked with Hong Kong Trade Development Council, the German Trade Commission, and doing webinars. and they'll bring Italy brought 60 companies to the webinar, and we talked about what they need to do to be successful in the US, and that led to projects. And so we're really excited about that. Francis was just talking with Dallas, Oregon, if you believe it. I was like, Dallas, you're talking to Dallas? And it's Dallas, Oregon. But they're making a trip over to Japan, and he's able to help them coordinate some contacts and things to do while they're on their trip. So, excellent resource, another example of our growth. This is our active map of members that are our offices. When we are at trade shows, when we're marketing and talking to projects, we say we have offices in the States that will work with you directly. They can give you the best information, they can give you incentives, they can talk to you about available buildings. And so our job is to quickly hand it off to our elite cities in the network to get the projects information. Give you two examples of that. I can pull them up right now. Two texts that came in yesterday. We've been working with George from Shenzhen, China. They're building an ASIC server manufacturing firm here in the U.S., about 140,000 square feet. They are running into some issues with some Texas stipulations about setting up operations in the U.S. And we've been working with them for about 2 years. And that just now opened up, which we have a letter of intent. We toured over 30 buildings, but it now has maybe opened up them to do a new site search and one that we're really hoping that we can close the project. But if it doesn't, we're there to help them be successful. Another one, Rodney. We've been working with Rodney about 2.5 years. They print 3.5 miles of banners every day, and they're going to have their first U.S. location. And we've been working with him a long time. He came in, we did site visits, site tours of about 12 buildings. We finalized. He went back to Australia. He's come back again, and now he kind of went cold, I'll be honest with you. Hadn't talked to us in a while, and he just texted me last night, so we're going to be talking to him again next week. He said things are looking great. He's got a $50 million contract out of Kentucky that's really pushing him to make this expansion into the U.S., and that actually is expanding. It went from 70,000 to almost 200,000 square feet in his site. But it's an example of how we stay on top of projects and stay with them to the fruition. These are some of our great elite cities that we network with and work with, and they are our voice. When we're working with our projects, they are the experts. We don't ever claim to be experts on individual areas. We trust that our members are the experts when we turn them over. A lot of people ask us about the types of companies. They can be as small as 10,000 square feet. They can be as large as 1 million square feet. At the last show, identified at MD&M, a 1 million square foot shoe manufacturer. They're looking at 3 states, and we have our conversation with them next week, and really just trying to button up and really define what that shoe manufacturer. They're in California right now, and they're looking for an additional facility in the U.S. So we're excited about that. But these are actual projects. Wallbox, they gave us 3 weeks to find a site, and we found them some sites and incentives, and that is a very successful project. McKinley Paper, they are a 500,000 square foot build-to-suit, which was exciting to work with. We have some retail type opportunities with pickleball we've worked with. And these other companies are just a kind of a variety of the types of facilities to kind of explain. We don't really, the only requirement we have is that the companies are going to at least create 10,000 square foot of space, create 10 new employees, expand outside of a 50-mile radius of their current area, and make a decision to dig dirt in 18 months. And if they meet those qualifications, we tell them our services are free, and that's how we get in front of them with the network. This is a sampling of jobs. You can actually go into our portal. If you haven't been to our portal, go in. You can create a free account and you can look at all the projects. You can sort them. You can look at which ones are interested in your state. You could see the details of the projects. You just can't submit on them. They're locked. But if you are an elite city, you can do it. So it's kind of like tasting the.
Eric, Eric, they do get to submit on one.
They
So
do
you
get to
do get
submit on
one
one.
free lead just for signing up for that guest account. So if you see something really enticing that you want to submit on, please absolutely unlock that lead.
Yeah, it's kind of like tasting the buffet before you pay it. I mean, we're very transparent in everything we do, and we believe transparency is key to success for companies. That brings me to Crystal, let's go ahead and ask this poll. How many of you guys have been to one of our prospect lives? Cress, I don't know if you got a link for this, but if you're
I
able
do.
to,
Absolutely. I'm prepared.
awesome. Oh,
I'm
this is
just waiting for you
great.
to explain the prospect live a little bit more, and then I'll throw it up there.
Yeah, this is great. We've had nobody's been to one of our prospect lives that are on here so far. If you haven't, you've got to go. It's exactly like this format. I bring the project on, I talk to them, I interview them and ask them all the tipping points. We do that within about 20 to 30 minutes. They present all of the aspects that they're looking for to be successful. And then we open up the mics. It's your opportunity. All right, we got one that's been to one. I hope you enjoyed that one.
Been to
I would
more
say
than one.
90% of our prospect lives finalize within 12 months. So we love our prospect lives, and we love having you guys on there and ask them pointed questions to know if it's a good project for you and if you have an opportunity. And that
Right. We do a big Q&A in those. So anything that comes up during the entire conversation, you just post your question in the Q&A and we cover all of those after our discussion before we get off the call.
Yeah, and that's the key. Um, a lot of our projects, we don't even call it a short list. We call it an initial areas of interest because our shortlists change on average 8 times from start to finish. And that's purely going back to the lack of education, lack of interest. So we work really hard to get the elite cities that would have not been considered on a shortlist on the shortlist. All right, let's go ahead and ask this second poll. Who likes attracting U.S. headquarters to their area? Those are some of the funnest that I enjoy working on. And I put that second one on there is we've got a community, they've got a $50,000 incentive. If you call it their headquarters, that they will give that as an incentive to the community or to the company. And that's a big deal. And they can tout that they have a new U.S. headquarters. Both the Wallbox and McKinley Paper were both U.S. headquarters. And Cress, if you can, go ahead and throw that link. If there's one thing I'm going to tell you to do is click on that link, get registered for our Prospect Live. It's on February 19th. I've already visited with Richard. We've already toured 22 buildings in Texas, and now he's looking for his alternative states to go out and do considerations and comparisons for his U.S. headquarters. And it's an exciting company. They're in the film industry or they're in the videography industry. 90% of YouTube videos, Landman, The Titanic, any big screen movies are shot on their equipment. So it's kind of a fun project to get involved in a community, and they're very giving. They embed themselves in the community back in Australia, and they give back to the community, and that's one thing I really like about Richard. And we'll be talking with him on February 19th at 3 p.m. He's willing to get up at 8 and work with us on the Prospect Live. That's why it's at 3. We usually try to have him at 11. So make sure you click and join us for that Prospect Live. But here's the nitty gritty.
Eric,
Cresta,
also, even if that's not something that you're interested in necessarily, that project, if you want to see how we work and how we do these prospect lives, as well as see what companies are looking for in their expansion and relocation plans, you definitely want to attend just to get some insight for a project maybe that might come along later that's going to do one of these.
yeah, Marceline, I see your question. It is February 9th. Thank you, Cresta, for putting that in
Oops.
there. And when you go
2026,
to
sorry, 2026. Not 2025.
The cool thing is once you register, it'll automatically remind you, allow you to put it on your calendar and and do that. So there'll be marketing going out there, social media going out, but these are our headliner events, but it is the most transparent. Everyone that attends that, it really opens their eyes to the site selection process and learns what a company like his is looking for. And if you don't win the project, at least you get to see what they are looking for and how to influence them for your community. Cressel, let's go in and I'm going to turn the camera over to you. This is why most people come. They want to see the projects. They want to see how the portal works. I'm going to walk you through kind of just a scenario, but if you have a question over in the chat, go ahead and throw it in there, and we'll test the portal and make sure you guys know how it works.
All right. Can everybody see my screen?
We can. So,
Wonderful.
Cresta, yeah, looks like you've already logged in, which is great. Um, so you came to the welcome screen, and I'm a community. I just came on board, but I really don't even want my cookie jar filled. I need something to organize my current projects so I can report back to the board. What if I just want to put projects in and use it as a CRM?
Absolutely. So if you go right to the Browse Projects page, that's where all of our projects are located. But right here in this top menu bar, there's going to be this Add Internal Project. And if you click on that, it's going to take you through a series of questions, much like what we do on the back end when we're putting a project in. And so once you do that and you've added it in here, it will actually show up on the Browse Projects page. You will have to, I'm going to my pipeline real quick so you can see what it looks like, but you will have to then add it to your pipeline just to make sure it's in a place where you don't have to go through tons of projects just to find it. And then it will say something like this. It'll have this little blue banner that says internal. So if any of you are in the portal right now, you could look for the Test the Portal project and you will not find it because it is specific to my account. And it's an external or an internal project that I'm adding in just to keep track and do my notes and have it all in one place.
Okay, perfect. Love it. But what if I do like cookies and I want more cookies in my jar because my board's saying, hey, you got to 10x your projects. We only got two or three last. That'd be good. Throw in the chat how many projects you generated last year. But um, it is a numbers game. So I want to see, out of all the projects, since they are all 100% vetted and real, how do I browse them? How do I go in and take a look and see what projects I want to submit on?
Well, there's a bunch of projects in here, so I wouldn't recommend going to each one and clicking on it and digging through before doing a little filtering. So we actually have a filter. So if you go back to the Browse Projects page, and then you click right here, the filter button, it's going to pop down a bunch of filters that are going to help you find the projects that are a good fit for your community. So I always recommend a few. I think that selecting your activity status as active. Most of the landed projects should be in the archive projects, but just in case, so we know we only are getting active projects. And then I am in Texas, so I'm going to go down and say I only want to see Texas. So what that's going to do is it's going to bring up anything searching in the state, in the region, or a national search. So it is going to bring up anything that could have an interest in Texas. And so once I've done that, I narrowed down what could have been 6 or 7 pages of leads. I'm now down to 4, but I kind of want just the top 10 quality projects for my community. So I know that I have a building in particular that I want to fill, and it can only handle up to 100,000 square feet. So I can just come right in here, pick a few of those options that are going to be okay to fit in that building. And now I've shortened my list down to 2 pages, and I can really dig into projects that I am looking for. But you can also filter by industry, by land requirements, by decision time frame, by the amount of jobs it will create. So you can get really creative in your filtering and just keep filtering till you get to a list that you're ready to delve into.
Excellent. So now I've got my pipeline and I can show my board and print this out and say, hey, here's our active pipeline right now. How do I see the details so I know, dig in deeper and see if what's the good match with our community?
Absolutely. So if you want to see the details, there are going to be some that are going to be here for you to see. You can see that this one is going to create 10 to 20 jobs. It needs 5 to 10,000 square feet of space, and their time frame is 1 to 6 months. Take that as you may. But if you want more information on the project, you just simply click on the project name, or over to the right, there was a place that said project report. You can click that as well. And it's going to take you in here. It'll give you an overview of the project, those states of interest or regions of interest, any special requirements that we are already aware of, and then a little overview on the company to kind of give you some insight on their longevity and resources.
So I love this project, but I got some specific questions I'd like to ask to the project or the team at GSLI to get some answers before I finalize my submission. Can I ask questions about the project?
Absolutely. So if you enter into a project that you're interested in, for example, as I'm now in this project report for supply shift, on the left-hand side, excuse me, you'll see this orange box and it says have questions about supply shift. Be the first to ask a question. You're simply going to click that box and there you can type in your question. It's going to go directly to our project director, Ashley, and she is going to either give you an answer within 24 to 48 hours or let you know that she's going back to the project to get you the answers you need, and they will be coming shortly.
Excellent. So, what about submissions? I know you guys changed your submissions a little bit this year. I hate doing submissions; they take hours. Show me the submission process.
Absolutely. So we actually just did a submission form update to kind of weed out some of the things that we've noticed prospects have not really paid needed on the first round, right? So if you want to go into any of our projects, you can actually click submit from that right side there, or you can come into the project and click this submit button. It is going to take you to our brand new submission form. And this is going to come complete with some AI agents to help you complete any task that may seem a little daunting. So as we go through here, first we're wanting that cover letter. But if you're clicking this link here, it will actually take you right into ChatGPT. Hopefully you have a paid account because that is how it works to give you the best answers. But it'll take you right in and to one of our agents that will ask you a couple questions and create that cover letter for you. It just asks for your community, a little bit about your community, and also for you to upload that project report so it can make it specific to that project. As you go down, a lot of this stuff is still going to be the same as it was on our previous submission form, but just in a few areas, you're going to find that we do have these agents built in. So when you get down here to the workforce readiness, we do ask a lot of information. However, clicking on that agent will take you right into your ChatGPT account, and based on some basic questions like what's your community and what kind of radius are you looking for this information within, it will then calculate all of these answers for you so you can simply cut and paste. But it does still work similarly. We are working on getting all the sticky fields to just show the information directly. But in the meantime, anything you've ever used as an answer is saved right there. So you just go to each section and you can pick easily what your answer was. So that way you're still saving all of that time, and it will do that down the entire form. So it does the workforce readiness one, and then it also has one for this logistic information. So if you don't want to look up all those ports, airports, highways, I totally get it. It's a lot of information. Come right on down here to this AI assistant, and it will, again, ask a couple questions and then give you all of the information that you're requesting to easily cut and paste in there. And then
So,
you just get down to we have a question on the submission.
no. Keep going.
Okay. You get down to the bottom and it's very simple. You're either going to save it for later if you need more information, or you're going to submit it to us. And either way, it's going to come right to us. You'll get an email saying we received your submission, and we'll get to working on getting that to the prospect.
So if a project, I never get updates from the state. They tell me to submit or the region, and I don't get updates like where that project went. Do you provide updates?
Absolutely. So we try to, well, we do reach out to all of our prospects every 45 to 60 days to get an update. So when we do get those updates, we go ahead and put them on the portal right here. And it'll look like this little bell with the red dot, and you can simply click it, and it will give you our latest update on exactly how that prospect is coming along in their site search.
Excellent. So beyond projects, well, I know projects go cold sometimes. Do I ever, do you ever release the contact information so I can call them directly?
So, like I said, we do reach out every 45 to 60 days to get updates, and sometimes we are unable to get into contact with that prospect for whatever reason it may be. They may be on hold, they may have a new site selection team. It could be a number of things. But if we are unable to reach them, and we have tried multiple times in all of our efforts, and you have already submitted on them, as long as you've added them to your pipeline and submitted on the project, we will release the contact information. And I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick because I'm pretty sure I've got something in my pipeline that I have submitted on and had a release. I have to go a little further back here. Okay, here we go. That's uh, this one, Project Custom Cannabinoid, as fun as that may be. I submitted on this project. You can see the banner there. And it now has this little phone icon, which means we have released that contact information. So now when I click on the project, well, if I click on the project, sorry, my mouse is a little touchy right now. There we go. If I click on the project and I come inside, there's now a contact button over here on the side. And I click that, and it is going to give me the contact information, who we were speaking to, any information that we have for them, email, phone number, company name, and contact name.
Excellent. So, Krista, I'm interested in all these other things of how to be more effective, how to learn some of this AI and economic development. Is it more than just leads? Do you provide any kind of training?
I'm so glad you asked, Eric. So, as you mentioned previously on the call, we do a jam session for all of our clients every second and fourth Tuesday, and that's at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And during this, we're going to focus on a couple of things. We're going to give you any portal updates or things going on with the company as far as trade shows, etc. But we're also going to do a training. So Eric loves to dig into AI and how it can help economic development. So a lot of our trainings have actually been on AI. And there's a couple different ways you can see these on the portal. We would love for you to come and be live on a jam session, of course. However, if you can't make it, we do record all of the jam sessions here, and you can go to the jam session tab and watch the 20 to 30-minute video in full. However, if you're just trying to get to that meet, those trainings, and see what you can find, or just dig in and see what we have, you can come right here to Jam Academy. And that's where we take those videos out of the jam session and just put them here for training purposes. So, what's something that you're interested in learning more about and seeing if we have any training on?
Let's say my board said social media. Go put together a social media program for us.
Let's type in social media and see what we have. How to create your social media posts in seconds, and how to use AI to develop your social media strategy. So, um, anything else that you might want to know about?
How about trade shows? We're getting ready to go to a trade show.
Oh, wow, we got a lot on trade shows. Using AI to pick the right trade shows, using AI for trade show notes, using AI to identify potential active projects at a trade show. That one's actually really super cool. Using GSLI's trade show reports and contacts to conduct your own email campaign, and how to use AI to target your best trade shows. So, yeah, lots of information on trade shows there.
Excellent.
But if
Well,
you
since you're talking about trade shows, let's shift and close out this part of the webinar. What if I want to go to a trade show? My board, we don't have $12,000 to go to a trade show and exhibit ourselves. We don't have the staff. We don't have the time. What if I want to go to a trade show and be like Tim earlier in the thing and meet projects, handshake with them like Logan, like so many of our members do? Does that cost me, and how do I go?
No, actually, being a part of the Elite Cities Network, you are welcome to attend trade shows with us. We are going to attend 4 to 6 trade shows every year. Right here on this trade show tour tab, it's going to tell you what trade shows we're attending, have attended, and give you information on how they went. So it all it requires is that you take care of your lodging and airfare and get there. We are going to take care of the booth. We're going to set everything up. We're going to take care of your badge. We're going to get you there. And we're even going to contact you while you're out roaming the show floor if we get a lead that looks interesting and that you could benefit from. But here is a list of all the trade shows we still have on the calendar for this year. We have already just completed MD&M, and the way we get our trade shows is every year we survey our clients around September to see what industries and what trade show focuses they have. And then based on those results, we kind of compile what will be our next year of trade shows. And you can attend any of them that you choose to.
Excellent. So, yeah, and one thing that we added this last trade show is a VIP event. So we hosted a cocktail hour. It was overlooking Disney land, beautiful setting, and we brought projects. We gave our members Elite Cities tickets to the VIP event to go out and invite guests, CEOs of expanding companies to come to the cocktail hour and really network with them outside of that. And that was where really some of our deep relationships came from. That's where he's got invited to go play golf in Thailand with one of the projects and learn more about the project, see the facility. And so that's something that we've
Take me
added.
with
But
you.
I'm gonna switch now. Thank you, Caresta.
You're welcome.
Let me take back over. All right, and I'm going to fly through this because I respect your all's time and I try to keep these on pace and on time, and Chris knows I like to talk, so maybe sometimes it doesn't. But I want to do a quick role play with you guys. I'm going to act like you're bored, and I love this graphic. There's been so many boards of skeptics, or they're always questioning, they're always wondering, and then I've seen very positive ones. But I'm going to say, what if I was your board? I'm going to play your board. And I don't want you just to go get leads. I've got 7 initiatives that I need you to execute this year. I need you to launch a campaign with a mix of 5 lead generation pillars. And pillars are anything from magazine advertising to telemarketing. They're different ways to generate leads. So I need you to implement 5 of those. I need you to exhibit and or receive project leads from 6 national trade shows. I need you to hire an intern to qualify these leads because I'm paying you way too much to sit there and waste your time qualifying leads. Let's get someone on the team to qualify them. I need you to hire a consultant that's going to oversee your projects, not just from the submission, but through the follow-up. If you have questions, to go out and engage and try to get back in touch with the companies on your behalf and make sure you're putting your best foot forward. I also want you to invest in a CRM so that whenever we need a report, you can track and let us know where the leads are. I also want you to distribute a national press release and get your story out because everybody knows they just don't like us because they don't know about us. So the more we can tell people our story, the more interest we have in our area. And I need you to promote your city on social media to further build your brand. So I'm going to say in the chat box, if anybody could, another opportunity, we're going to be doing the wheel of names real quick. How much would you ask for if your board came to you and said, do those 7 initiatives this year? How much budget are you going to ask for? Chris, I don't even see my chat. Let's see. Here we go. Anyone care to guess? I've had, don't be shy. It could be crazy, it could be little, it could be conservative. We've had anything from 15,000, I'd say on a low end to,
100,000.
yeah, yeah, which is realistic. I will tell you, 25,000. That's a good guess. Um, you know, that will get you to maybe 3 trade shows if you really budget cut it. If you want to do trade shows, I wouldn't recommend that
That'd
if
be
your
really
budget.
tight.
Yeah,
Three
Trust me, I
trade
just
shows
got
for
back.
25.
We just got back from our California show. 15,000. Okay. That's being really aggressive. I like that. 40,000. All right. We got some great guesses. Um, if I came back to you and said, I need you to do all that, generate leads, get all of those things accomplished for less than 10,000, I'm pretty sure this would be the look on your face. And that would be realistic. I would say you're setting me up for failure. You told me to go get these, but you're not giving me adequate budget to do that. I'm going to tell you, you can do all of those things through our GSLI Elite Cities network for less than $9,000. And I built it that way intentionally so that we could, instead of, when I started this, we were charging $50,000. And that was per state. Instead, I said, let's allow 5 communities. We're going to maximize at 5 communities per state. Let them participate for less than $10,000 and reap the benefits of the only thing they care about is the quality project leads. So they can focus their time on working leads, not chasing leads. And the biggest thing that I see in our group or our elite cities is the appreciation of the coach. We assign a coach, they work with you every month on the projects, on the submissions. They spend about an hour each month minimum learning about your area. So if they're at a trade show or if they're in our Monday morning meeting and we're going over the projects that week, they can say, hey, I need to call Malcolm. I need to call Sean. I need to call, Tim and let them know that this project's coming and get in on it. So for that, you might go, what do you expect? It's less than 10,000. It can't get as much. But Cresta, she just took you on a very condensed tour of the portal. She does a full onboarding. I call it our white glove treatment. She walks you through every aspect, answers your questions, how to use the portal, what you need to focus on. She puts together and sends you a press release, which we send out nationally that you're a part of our Elite Cities network, and we introduce that to our projects so that they know we have a new Elite City that they can consider. You get a call from your coach. They'll schedule that monthly meeting. I would call them a consultant or a coach. I like coaching better than consulting because it's a collaborative effort with you guys. You get an instant access to the project portal with real-time projects. And when I show you what I'm willing to bonus because of you guys being here and spending your time, you're going to really appreciate this. But from day one, you can start having projects in your pipeline and really impress your board. And then we give email reminders. We're never short of email reminders, I promise you, of jam sessions, prospect lives. You can look at the calendar. We didn't even show you the calendar on the portal, which you can look at and see when deadlines of submissions are coming up, when the next project live is, when the jam sessions are, so you can stay dialed in. That's the key is you can't use us too much. You can definitely use us not enough. And we really encourage uh, continued support. If there are any questions, go ahead and throw them in the Q&A down at the bottom. I'll answer those as they come up. But
I
because I
think it
want to
might
keep,
be easier to just throw them in the chat since we're
yeah, you
already
can throw them in
they've
chat.
been using that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Throw them in chat or the questions, but I'll answer them. But I'm going to move to why we talked about you want to 10x your projects. And I really enjoy these webinars because you can instantly 10x your projects without increasing the workload, increasing your staff, increasing those things. In fact, our members save around $25,000 a year in stuff they would have to do to yield the same results. So we are truly a cost savings and a leverage. But we do this one thing. We do a community assessment. It's free. We ask that if you do this, I'm going to unlock an offer for you for being here today. The 5 minute community assessment really gives us an idea of where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and puts us on a framework of would you be good for ours. But if you complete a community assessment, I will unlock the portal for the last 6 months of leads and projects. And I will tell you, we just got back from MD&M We identified 53 projects, of which 16 are ready to go into the portal. So those plus our other 80 projects are going to be ones that you can kind of take a look at and say, these five, these six match our community. I want to get in front of them. And
Can
so
I
you'd look,
clarify a little bit
do
just
what?
for them? Can I clarify a little bit?
Yeah.
So this is an offer, and if you decide to take part in it, then you will get the last 6 months of projects open for free. What normally happens is it's an annual subscription, so it would open as soon as you sign up and go for the entire next year. But what Eric's saying is that you're going to get 6 months of projects that are already in there, already looking from day one, so you can start working those projects immediately.
Yeah, it is the biggest way to impact and show your board. I've had people that say we only got two leads of that last year, and on day one they had four in their pipeline, and we're working with our team on getting their community in front of it. But that's a huge bonus. I will do a free one-on-one marketing assessment where we can dive in, take a look at your entire marketing program, and see how it's interweaved and effective for you guys. Find the weaknesses, find the strengths, talk with you about what other communities are seeing with their different marketing efforts, make some suggestions. That's a very valuable tool. And because it's Valentine's Day, and I do believe that these projects might not be interesting to you because they don't know your story. And this is one of the funnest things I do. I do a podcast. It's called Community Connection, and I spend 30 minutes talking about your community. What are you primed for? What's the quality of life there? What type of companies are you seeking? And really paint a picture for projects in a 30-minute webinar. We publish that on our platform of globaltrademag.com. We get over 1 million visitors to that website annually. We also push it out in our newsletter to 15,000 subscribers to the newsletter, and we put it out on social media. We would also help your team put that podcast on your website. One community, they put it in their signature. Listen to our podcast from GSLI. And so every time they email it out, it's a chance to listen to their story. And we'll help you come up with those creative things. But why I'm excited about this, and this is the only time I do this, is Valentine's Day each year. It's an $11,450 bonus. And if you join before March 1st and become, that is if you can. Like we do allow, like I said, a max of five communities per state. Some states are locked out, but if you are able to and the community assessment aligns and the projects align that make sense for you and it's going to be a valuable investment, join by before March 1st and do that. But you gotta do the community assessment. It does not commit you to being with us, but it unlocks the offer that if you do. So Cresta, we make it easy. Throw up the survey, and if you just say, "Hey, send me a community assessment," those are always fun anyway, just to see how you size up. But we'll send that to you and note that you are on the webinar and that will unlock that value for you.
I did we close the last poll? Because for some reason it doesn't want to let me open this one. 1 second. I'm going to. Ah, there we go. I found it. One was still open. That was a really long poll. Here we go. Launching it now.
There we go.
Sorry about that, guys.
Again, does not commit you to join. It commits you to learning more about your community. We'll get involved. Love to work with your community. Oh, love it, guys. Really, 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 really appreciate that. It is Valentine's Day, and
It's not Valentine's Day
it's
still.
gonna be. It's gonna be. So I keep telling myself that so I don't forget to take my
Oh,
wife out to
don't
dinner
forget.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good for your home
I'm going
life.
to leave that open so that you guys have plenty of time. Let's get to the prizes, Caressa. We've had
Let's do it.
tremendous uh, responses. I love everybody being
Participation.
interactive. Big 100% thank you for attending today. Let's give away, we'll do two spins. I'm going to give away both prizes. We're not going to do an either or. We're going to give away two. So if
You
you
got
want to
it.
take over my screen,
Ta-da! See if I can blow this up a little bit for everybody. All right. Let's see here. I think I've got everybody's name on the wheel. Can you guys see my wheel?
I cannot see your wheel.
No. Okay, let me reshare.
Stop share mine.
Oh, that's why you couldn't see my wheel. As long as you have yours shared, you won't see mine. Good now?
Oh, now we can. The
All
beautiful
right.
beautiful wheel of names. This is always fun. All right,
I
so
think I have
press
everybody. I maybe just a quick ask. Does anybody not see their name? I think I stayed pretty active with it, but I just want to make sure before
no
anybody responding,
gambling,
Eric.
please.
Okay, here we go. Let's get to
First
it.
person's going to get to choose whether or not they want the $25 Amazon card or they want the book.
Let's go. Oh, I
You,
didn't share my
you didn't
sound. You
share
guys
your
can't hear
sound.
it. Oh,
Oh, Lucy's gonna come in.
oh,
Oh,
nope.
Merceline. Pardon me if I pronounced that wrong, but it's a beautiful name. So, Merceline, in the chat box over there, what do you want? Do you want the gift card or do you want the signed book? And I'll reach out to you and find out what you want it, the signature if you want the book. You will not hurt my feelings because I love Amazon. And while we're waiting for you to respond, Crest, let's go ahead and do the second spin. I know you're trying to share your sound now.
I was, but it will not let me. So we're just
Uh,
going to go with it. For some
all
reason, it won't.
right.
It's grayed out.
All right. Here is the second spin. All
It is
right.
really cute music, though.
We will get you the gift card. Excellent. Oh, this one looks like it's locking in on Robert.
Yeah, right. Like a bullseye, right in the middle of his name. Dun, dun, dun,
All right, Robert.
dun.
I'll go one way or the other. If you want the book, I'll get you the book. If you want a gift card, put in there you want the gift card, and I'll go either way with you. All right, the book. Thank you,
All
because
right,
I
two
saw three
books
people
going
in
out.
this webinar had read the book and enjoyed it. So I'd love to get your feedback on it.
I will
Um,
say it's definitely funny. You will enjoy it if you're an economic developer.
yeah, yeah, it is. So everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to close that last poll. Awesome attendance. You guys are doing great things for your cities. That's what excites me. I never get any more joy than seeing one person create a new job in a community. Each job is a $500,000 impact on a community. If you do the national average over a 7-year period, the Amazon gifts, the moms and dads visiting, the grandmas, the everything, the gas they buy, the home they buy, the taxes they pay. And so when we see 5 new jobs created in community, that's what keeps me going for this past 31 years. So really appreciate what you guys do. Hopefully we can maintain a relationship, whether or not you become a part of our elite cities or not, but we would love, love, love to work with you. Happy Valentine's Day. Go out, continue to make a difference for your communities. And once again, thank you so much for attending today. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, everybody.